Every day, something dramatic happens in the Caribbean that affects our lives. We'll give you the details. We'll give you the facts on Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick. Here's Eddie Frederick.
Welcome to Caribbean Perspective. So glad you can join us. The story that takes the lead in today's edition for Friday, 5th January 2024, and brought to you in association with our friends at Antillean Group is Trinidad and Tobago's 5th Prime Minister's body returns in preparation for his state send-off. Details after this important message.
Believe in our strength, we'll stand by you. Protection from all, perils big and small. Reassurance we give, it's so glad to see. Peace of mind, that's our service guarantee. We look after all our family. Yes, we do at every opportunity.
Antillean Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.
Welcome back. The body of former Prime Minister Basdio Pandey arrived back home in Trinidad and Tobago on Wednesday evening. The Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force was at the Piarco International Airport to receive the body when it arrived. A bearing party met the coffin as it exited the aircraft cargo. A national flag was placed on the coffin before it was taken to the hearse. More in this TTT news item.
On Wednesday, the Parliament of Trinidad and Tobago placed in the rotunda of the Red House, in memory of the 5th Prime Minister, a condolence book. The first to sign was the President, Christine Kangaloo. She also met with some of Mr. Pandey's family members who were present at the rotunda. The condolence book will be open to members of the public on Thursday, Friday, and next Monday. Mr. Pandey's funeral will be the first state funeral conducted under Hindu rites, as he was the first Hindu to hold the office of Prime Minister. The passing of former Prime Minister Basdio Pandey has left the Caribbean community deeply saddened. On its Facebook page on Wednesday, CARICOM said Mr. Pandey held a multifaceted career in service of his country as politician, trade unionist, and civil servant. It added the former politician used his exceptional skill as a barrister to advocate passionately for workers' rights. His belief in the value of education and his ideologies and initiatives made a lasting impact on the Twin Island Republic. CARICOM described Mr. Pandey as a son of the soil who served with determination and passion and made an enduring contribution to our development, our progress and development.
In the meantime, public figures continue to share their memories of former Tobago House of Assembly Chief Secretary Ho Choy Charles, with villagers in his hometown of Golden Lane speaking highly of him. Again, TTT News has more.
Ho Choy Charles was the area representative for Mariah Palatuve. He served as the Chief Secretary of the Tobago House of Assembly during the period 1996 to 2001, under the National Alliance for Reconstruction. A common memory shared by all was the road infrastructural works Mr. Charles executed as Chief Secretary.
He do a lot for Tobago also. Yes, he did a lot for Tobago. People who could have go to the land, he opened the road for them to get to the land also. Yeah, he was a good man. He opened all those roads to go into Hope, John Dial, all those, and the highway.
Popular Tobago entertainer Ruston Coltby Simon also shared how Mr. Charles' works benefited him.
Easy Man was responsible for we having good roads. Because in the earlies, like when we go for hunting, no taxi driver never used to want to bring me up here. And nobody didn't believe this road could widen and be as nice as it is now, you understand? And he did a lot for Tobago. He was always a man, when he passing through, he always has some positive thing to tell you.
And Golden Lane artisan known as Jabby, extending condolences to the family and shared similar words to that of other villagers.
He was a very good man. When I say a good man, he did a lot by extending the road all around the island, while he was in power,
In 2023, Golden Lane villagers led by area Representative Zorisha Hackett renamed the Old Ground branch trace to Hotroy Charles Heights in recognition of his contributions to the village and Tobago. Carissa Douglas, TTT News.
Still on Trinidad and Tobago, the American Chamber of Commerce there says while a 5% reduction in crime is good, it is still unacceptable. AmCham Chief Executive Officer Neeraj Tiwari laments that crime is out of control. More from Nicole M. Romani of TV6 News.
On Monday, Police Commissioner Ulla Christopher noted a 5% reduction in homicides in 2023 as compared to 2022. She added that while the figure remains unacceptable, it is still noteworthy. As he gave a business forecast for 2024, Tiwari called for re-examination of crime.
And we need to address the issue of violent crime and its links to white-collar crime and corruption and drugs and so on in order to instill some more confidence. And once confidence is instilled, I think, of course, the outlook would be better.
He says the impact on business is an area of concern.
The minimum wage will impact members in, of course, the security sector. They have already announced that, and we have a few members in security. And then the knock-on impact. It's a little early to tell how big that will be, but if you continue to have a situation where crime feels like it's out of control and crime remains unfair, pervades, then, of course, if you have increased costs of the provision of security, you're going to see increased costs overall and less efficiency, therefore.
The AmCham CEO also weighs in on the foreign exchange challenges plaguing businesses and if that situation will improve.
It has not, and we're not sure if it will before the end of the first quarter of 2024, given supply issues.
Nicole M. Romani, TV6 News.
You're listening to Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick.
In association with our friends at
Antillean Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.
Five women in custody in connection with brutal beating of a 14-year-old girl in Jamaica. Details in this TVJ News item.
5 females are now in custody in connection with the beating. The teenager is now struggling to remember basic information after getting a massive head injury. A viral video showing a 14-year-old girl being beaten on Saturday, December 30, 2023 in Havana Heights near Denby, Clarendon. The full video is too graphic to show on television. After getting a few slaps, this lady in a pink dress walked over to the child and began hitting her with an object. The child was also kicked when she fell to the ground. So, what happened? The child's mother tells what she heard.
Like my daughter went to visit her friend, and when she went, she was sitting on the wall, and she was attacked by 4 adults, saying that one of the lady hold her and said, "Who's your mother?" And she said, "Tan." And said, "You know, long me want to hold your mother." And she held my daughter, and she spit in her face.
The girl later ran from her attackers.
A little boy ran her down. He was on a bicycle. He ran her down and hold her and bring her back to the lady in the grey. And the lady held her. And the other girl came with a spatula and beat my daughter.
Now, why was one of the attackers interested in the teenager's mother? TVJ News understands that a love triangle may have fueled the incident, but the 14-year-old is not involved in the romantic relationship. It appears that the mother of the 14-year-old has a boyfriend. That boyfriend is also in a relationship with another woman. The mother of woman number 2 and other family members attacked the 14-year-old since they could not reach the child's mother. As for the condition of the child, who is now in hospital,
the little girl was unconscious when I went in. Then she kind of woke up. She didn't know who I was. Then she went out for a minute and then she came back in. She said, "Mommy, help me, please don't let me die."
It's left to be seen if charges will be laid against the 5 females now in custody.
Over in Guyana, the People's Progressive Party Civic, led by Vice President Barrett Jagdeo, plans to take legal action against social media influencers for derogatory remarks against the government. This move has sparked a debate on its potential impact on free speech rights. HGP Shamar Aline delves into the details and the public's response.
Vice President Barrett Jagdeo at his year-end press conference disclosed that the People's Progressive Party Civic would be going after social media influencers, especially those outside of Guyana, for criticizing the government.
I hope that the other social media influencers who are operating under the guise that they are not in our jurisdiction and they feel safe abroad, safe from the reach of our law, that they're taking note to.
However, Rickfred Burke, one of the perceived social media influencers, unwaveringly called out the People's Progressive Party Civic administration on allegations of corruption and racial discrimination, posited that this new move would trample upon freedom of speech.
Barrett Jagdeo is such an ordinary person that he thinks he can deceive people by holding a press conference and say empty words. We believe in free speech.
Meanwhile, weighing in on Jagdeo's comments, Attorney-at-Law Timothy Jonas, a representative of ANOG, has cautioned that the government's pursuit must carefully navigate between two potential extremes, safeguarding freedom of speech and libel.
The first extreme that has to be carefully protected and guarded is freedom of speech, which is a constitutional right and a core tenet of democracy.
Jonas contended that libel and unpatriotic statements are on the other side of the spectrum.
My fear with what I've heard the Attorney General and Barrett Jagdeo say is that they are using a pretense to try to infringe on freedom of speech. I agree with them that folk, Guyanese who are patriotic, need to be careful to guard what they are saying, so that criticism is constructive and we are protecting the country that we all love. But part of the country that we love, one of its central pillars, is that we are free to say what we need to say. And if that freedom is taken away, then the country that we love has changed fundamentally.
Since taking office, the PPC administration has filed a number of cyber charges against a number of persons for a statement made on social media. In fact, just recently, the Guyana Police Force dispatched one of its officers to Maple Street, Brooklyn, New York to serve summonses on Burke to attend court in March of this year. Reporting for HGP Nightly News, Shamar Allen.
I am Eddie Frederick, wishing you a restful weekend. This has been Caribbean Perspective, a whole new approach to highlighting developments in the Caribbean.
In the meantime, please follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel for daily regional news and more, in association with our friends at Antillian Group.
Believe in our strength, we'll stand by you. Protection from all perils, big and small. Reassurance we give, it's so clear to see. Peace of mind, that's a service guarantee. We look after all our family. Yes, we do at every opportunity.
Antillian Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.